Okay, in part 1 we factorized basic trinomials where the x squared coefficient was 1. In other words, the a value that you see here was 1. Now, if a is 1, for example, it could be x squared plus 5x minus 14. Two brackets, we know is x and x to get x squared. And we know it's plus and minus to get a minus sign here. And then for 14, the factors are 1 times 14, or 2 and 7. I want 5 to be my difference, which means it has to be 2 and 7. Which one goes where? Well, the clue is here. The plus sign in the middle, the bigger one must be plus, so 7 goes here and 2 goes here. Then we just check. X times x is x squared. Here is minus 2x. Plus 7x gives plus 5x, and then the minus 14 at the end. Now, if a is not 1, like here is 2, then one approach is to use guess and check. But that only really works if the a and the c are really both prime numbers. Then not too much choice in terms of what it could be. So, two brackets, to make 2x squared, no choice, 2x times x. The signs are all plus. And to make 3, either 1 times 3 or 3 times 1. Which one works? Just check and see. Here, 2x times x, that's fine. 2x times 1 is 2x. 3 times x is 3x. Together makes 5x. That's no good. It's not going to work. 3, of course, is fine. So I know it can't be 3, 1, which means all it can be is 1, 3. And that does in fact work if you check. 2x times x, 2x squared, plus 6x plus 1x is plus 7x, and then plus 3 at the end. Now, one more. 5x squared plus 2x minus 3. Again, we notice they're both prime numbers, a and c, therefore guess and check is viable. So two brackets, no choice, 5x times x. And then either plus minus or minus plus. So there's more choice here than before. And to make the 3, either 1, 3 or 3, 1. 1, 3 is unlikely because 5 times 3 will be 15x. It's way too big. So intuition tells you after a while that 1, 3 is more likely. And then what sign goes where? I want a plus sign in the middle. So 5x times plus 1 will be 5x, and then minus 3 times x minus 3x. Very important that you check. So 5x times x, correct, 5x squared. 5x times 1, 5x, minus 3x does give 2x, and then minus 3 at the end. So it's correct. Now, if a and c are not prime numbers, then you could guess and check, but it's far too much work. So what you want then is some technique to make your life easier. So one trick you can use here is take the 6 and multiply it by the minus 10 and make the x squared 1. Sounds a bit strange, but it does work. So convert this here into that, where the a is now 1. Next step, factorize this like before. And for 60, what we have is 1 times 60 2 times 30, 3 times 10, 4 times 15, 5 times 12, 6 times 10. What I want is a difference of 11. Well, that will be this one here, 4 and 15, which means I'm going to have x plus 15 and x minus 4. Now, next step, again a bit strange, what you do is you will divide this by 6 and divide this by 6. Here you times by 6 to get this particular function. Now we divide by 6. Okay, then what you do, you simplify these two fractions, 15 over 6 and 4 over 6, and what we get will be this x plus, I divide by 3, I get 5 over 2, and here I will get x minus 2 over 3. The last step is to put this 2 in front of the x and this 3 in front of the x. So we get 2x plus 5 and 3x minus 2. And that will be the answer you need here. The whole thing is a trick, basically, but it always works. Okay, let's reinforce these two methods. Here we have prime numbers 5 and 2, therefore guess and check is one technique. So 2 brackets, 5x and x, no choice there, both minus signs to get a plus at the end and a minus here. And then for 2, it has to be either 1, 2 or 2, 1. Well, 2, 1 isn't going to work because I'm going to have minus 5x minus 2x is minus 7x. That's no good. Therefore, it has to be 1 and 2. And if we check now, it works. 5x times x, 5x squared, minus 10x minus 1x is the correct center term. And then the last one is plus 2. Now, we could also have done it the second way I showed you, which is take the 5 and multiply by the 2. So, if I do that, I get x squared minus 11x plus 10. Again, bear in mind, this is simply a trick that works. Then we factorize this the usual way, x minus 1, x minus 10, and then we divide by the 5. Put the 5 here, put the 5 here, and now back to normal, x minus 1/5, x minus 2, always simplify if you can, and then put the 5 in front of the x, 5x minus 1, and x minus 2. The same result that we got before, 5x minus 1, x minus 2. Okay, hope that helps.